everyone, I'm Kelly and I am a nursing student. So I go to school in California in the Silicon Valley and I go to a state school. I am in their BSN program, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and it involves 6 semesters and I am in my 3rd semester out of 6. So I'm about halfway through with my schooling. And today I just want to talk to you a little bit about my junior college experience and how I got in and what I'm doing now and maybe some tips and tricks on studying and whatnot. So let's start out with my background. When I graduated high school, I kind of knew that I wanted to go to nursing school. I didn't really know what nursing actually entailed at that point, but I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's go to nursing school. So in high school, I told my counselor I want to go to nursing school, and she said she would sign me up for the regional occupational program, which was a medical technologies class where 1 week of the program we got to go to our local hospital, and I got to shadow a nurse, and that kind of just solidified the idea that, yeah, I think, like this could be a cool career. Let's see where this takes me. I hadn't planned on going to a 4-year school. I had planned on going to my local community college, so when that time came around and I graduated from high school, I started out at my local community college and I jumped right in, started taking classes, prereqs, met with a counselor. He knew what I needed, I knew what I needed, and I started going. It ended up taking me 3 years, but that's because the California community college system is impacted, which might be like that way in several states, or maybe it's just in California. But I had to wait a whole year until I could get into any science classes like anatomy, physiology, chemistry, organic chemistry, statistics. It was kind of stressful because I had planned on it taking about 2 years for me to get through everything, and it actually ended up taking me 3. So for my school, I had to graduate with an associate's and have all of my prereq classes done, and I had to have specific classes: anatomy, physiology, microbiology, chemistry, inorganic chemistry, writing 1A, writing 1B, statistics, maybe nutrition, physiology. I already said physiology. I meant psychology and some other classes I needed to get into the program. And the other part was the TEAS test. And the TEAS test is basically, it's a pretty simple test. I kind of consider it more towards STAR testing, where it's kind of really basic. There's a section on reading and comprehension, there's a section on mathematics, a section on writing, and a section on science. And why I kind of compare it to the STAR test is because it's at a higher level of thinking, but at the same time that science section can be anywhere from medication to rock.
What kind of rock is it? Igneous rock. And I'm like, why do I need to know that for nursing? I don't know.
To get into my school, you had to have all your prereqs done, and so they took the GPA of those 8 classes, they took your overall GPA from your last 30 units at your community college or wherever you were coming from, as well as your TEAS test score. And your TEAS test scores got you points, your GPAs got you points, and then if you fell in the top 60, you got in. I applied to 3 schools and got accepted to 1 and waitlisted for 2. So I'm pretty sure I ended up getting into all of them. However, I got accepted to the school I wanted to be accepted to first. So I ended up going, and the first semester I got in. I didn't really know what to expect. I had worked my butt off in community college getting through all those science classes. One semester I had actually ended up taking organic chemistry, microbiology, and stats all in one semester, so that was it was difficult. But I knew what was coming was probably going to be more difficult, so I worked through it and I got in, and now I'm here, and now I've passed with nothing less than a B in nursing school, so I'm pretty proud about that. So my first semester was general. All 60 of us took a professional role development class where we learned how to, proper etiquette of nursing, how to talk to families, patient-centered care, the QSIN, SBAR, and stuff like that. We learned about that stuff. If you're in nursing, you probably know what I'm talking about. I took a general skills class, where we learned I took 2 skills classes. That would be like inserting a Foley, doing a CVAD dressing change, taking blood pressures, you know, a lot of people didn't know how to do that. Doing a general physical assessment on a patient that you do on any patient in the hospital, and learning some other basic things like oxygen administration, inserting an NG tube. We did that all in the skills lab with mannequins, and our mannequins were pretty cool. And then we also had simulation in that class where we have like live mannequins that are voiced over by our instructors, and we're in a room and they record us, so that's pretty cool. And then we go back, we watch what we did, what we could have done better, and then we get feedback from ourselves and from the class as well as the instructor. So that was my skills class. Pathophysiology, I had the best pathophysiology teacher in the whole wide world, so thank you. Pharmacology, oh, that was fun. And then I also took a general class, which was writing, which you have to take for the nursing program as well as for graduating from the university. So that was also no fun because my teacher had hormonal problems and was crazy. But that's just how it was. So first semester went by, things went really well. You know, we started getting to know each other, all 60 of us, you know, we moved through the 6 semesters together, so I made friends with some people who lived nearby me, and I made friends with some people who I had never met before, and by the 2nd semester I knew everybody's name, so that's kind of exciting. 2nd semester was last semester, and that consisted of Nursing Skills 2, Professional Role Development, or PRD 2. What else did we do? Oh, we had a med-surg theory class, which was twice a week, and I had my first clinical rotation. I feel like there's another class. Yeah, we had evidence-based practice, which is what a lot of nursing is based off of. People doing research, people reading about that research and confirming that that is good and true, and then applying it to nursing or anything really. Evidence-based practice. So I took 5 classes 2nd semester, and it was also really hard. 2nd semester I moved closer to campus. I moved out of my parents' house, and I moved into a nice area, 10 minutes away from campus driving, parking, walk on. However, before I lived 40 minutes away with no traffic, so that was kind of a barge for my first semester. So my 2nd semester was kind of adapting to living without my parents and living on my own, as well as, I don't know, just learning how to be independent and like taking care of a house and what you need to know. That leads up to my 3rd semester, and I just kind of want to share about this semester. This semester I am taking an OB, obstetrician, and newborn theory class. I'm taking a peds theory class, pediatrics. I am taking Professional Role Development 3, a philosophy class online for my upper GE, and I have a clinical at Lucille Packard Children's Hospital in Stanford and a clinical at Good Samaritan Hospital in I think it's in San Jose, California. So yesterday was my first day in my OB clinical, and that was really exciting. I was put in my labor and delivery. The units are like labor and delivery, NICU, antepartum, mother baby unit, and cesarean. So I was put into labor and delivery, and I got to go to the cesarean section, so I saw my first C-section of a baby ever. And I was standing on a wall, like standing, not on a wall, on a stool against a wall, and I was viewing from over like the doctors and stuff. The surgeon, the anesthesiologist was there, Dad was there behind the sheet with Mom, and the baby was being born. So they go through all the layers and they pull out the baby, and when the baby was pulled out, he was actually frank breeched. So that's why she had to have a C-section, because the little bottom was facing down towards the opening, so you can't birth the baby and not head first, or it's not advised. So they pulled him out, and he started crying after they suctioned him, and then they whisked him off into the NICU room to go ahead and do their APGARs and physical assessment on the baby, which I followed behind and just kind of peeked and checked out what was going on, and then they bundled them up in 4 blankets and brought them back to Dad and Mom, and then they were getting Mom all set to go and stitching her up and stuff, and then Dad left with Baby and me and our nurse, and we went to another room. We went to the recovery room where Mom was going to join us when she was all ready, and I got to do a first physical assessment on a baby, which was pretty exciting. I got to give it its very first shot. I got to give it vitamin K, and I got to put erythromycin in the eyes. That was really exciting for me because last semester my clinical wasn't as like hands-on, and the nurses weren't as receptive to students. So being able to like do the physical assessment and hear the baby's heart rate was really exciting. Things I would suggest you do to prepare for clinical would be to read about the unit that you're going to be on. It's important to know like nursing interventions, what you might need to do if a mother asked you a question or needed something to combat her pain. It's very important that you come prepared to clinical, because your clinical instructor, your nurse that you're following might ask you questions, and then, you know, it's okay to say, I don't know the answer to that, you know, I can find out the answer and get back to you. And it's also okay to ask your clinical instructor and your nurse questions. They might tell you, I think that's something you need to know, how about you look that up and get back to me? Or they might tell you, or they'll probably tell you the answer. They can probably answer your question. I was at the hospital for about 9 hours yesterday, so I saw the first C-section and did the physical assessment on the baby, which my nurse walked me through. I did another physical assessment on a baby. I did not see that one C-sectioned. And then I was sitting out in the like nursing station, and I heard a lady screaming, and I kind of turned and looked at my nurse and I said, wow, sounds like she's getting close. And she said, yeah, they just brought her in. And I said, oh, okay, well, can I, like, do you think I can get in the room? And she said, yeah, go for it. So I went in and I introduced I walked in, and the baby was literally just born. Like, I missed it by seconds, which was kind of a bummer. But I kind of saw the afterbirth and like mother bonding with baby at the moment, which was really precious. Like, just seeing the look in the parents' eyes and like the baby's holding their very like first child or their new child. It's just like, it's such an emotional experience, and it was really cute and really fun to be there. And they had the baby and Dad was there filming it, which was pretty exciting. So when I was done with that, I got to do a newborn assessment on that baby too. So I got to do 3 that day, which is crazy. And the last thing I did is I inserted a Foley catheter. I did not know this was coming. I knew on the labor and delivery unit, if you get a epidural, then you can't really feel your lower area. You can kind of move and stuff, but it's important that your bladder isn't getting full. So I got to insert my first Foley catheter, which was exciting. The nurse walked me through it. The girl had just had an epidural, so she didn't quite feel it or anything, which was nice because I am still learning. I've only done that on a mannequin. However, I've done that correctly on the mannequin. It was different on a person. So that's some of the cool things I got to do on my very first day in labor and delivery. I hope this helped you. If you want me to do follow-up videos, go ahead and like this or leave a comment down below. But I'm excited, and I'm excited to be a nurse, and but 2 more years of like really hard work and suffering, and I will be able to have RN, or yeah, RN, BSN at the end of my name, Kelly RN. Yes. Okay, have a lovely day, guys.